Hello everybody, and welcome to the first live play stream that we're going to do of some board games. This is my first time using this new setup. You'll have to let me know if the volume level is okay. I kept the gain down a little lower so that you pick up a little less of my laptop fan. Let me know if either my voice is too soft or if the background noise is too loud. But yeah. All right, so today we are going to be playing Railroad Inc., which is a roll and write game where you're going to be rolling dice every turn, and they have to be drawn on a board, which has, let me get a little closer. It has these connections of either railway or roadway type, and every die that's rolled over the course of the game has to be connected either to an appropriate exit on the board, or it has to be connected to something else that has the correct connection type. These little black squares that are on many of the dice symbolize junctions and create a continuous road and a change from a road to a railway, and another one, road to a railway here. Now, every turn, and we're going to do 6 rolls over the course of the game, and I've made a board for tracking the previous rolls so that people who arrive late can catch up. So I'm going to use these numbers to correspond. These upper ones are corresponding to the normal dice, and these lower ones are for the 2 different types of special dice. So then if I do a roll, I would do like I roll 2 2s, a 5, and then an 11 and a 13, so that we can keep track of the previous rolls, and that way people who come in later can catch up. All right, so the other big thing when you play this game is there's a couple of different ways that you can get points over the course of the game. And if you don't have a board, you can play along. If you're on YouTube, the player board and the rules are in the show notes. If you're on Twitch, I have the board. If anybody comes in late and asks how they can play, you can just do RR Inc. And, oh, Balder's here now. Hey, Balder. All right. So let's go back to a discussion of the points real quick. I don't know what I was thinking that Balder would not be a part of this stream. You all can probably hear him. All right. So at the end of the game, the primary way that you're going to be scoring points is by how many connections along the outside edge of this board you've successfully connected. Right? So if you make a complete system full of these dice that have direct routes to 6 exits, that's worth 20 points. And then if you have another one where that connects 3 of them, that's worth another 8 for a total of 28. Right? So then in addition to that, your longest road is worth 1 point per square that the road is on, 1 point per railway. Longest railway, continuous, you can't loop back around on yourself. And you get 1 point for each of these center different colored squares that are covered. Additionally, at the end of the game, you will receive 1 negative point for each route that ends in nothing. So that can include hitting the edge of a board where there isn't a connection, or if you just end up with a die where like this little side piece doesn't connect to anything at the end of the game, that's considered a fault and gives you a negative point. Additionally, we're going to be playing with the rules for the rivers. So the river dice, there's going to be 2 rolled each time, but they don't ever have to be used. Okay? But if you do use them, they have to connect. You have to start on the edge of a board, and they have to connect. Wait, no, I'm sorry. That's wrong. At the end of the game, you get points for your longest river for each square that it touches, and you get bonus points based on whether or not it goes all the way to 2 separate sides of the board. Let me just double check that. I'm not 100% sure that that's the right interpretation, but let's just double check that real quick. But I'm 90% sure that that's how that works. All right. So, on the river dice, you never have to draw them. They don't have to be connected to pre-existing routes. You can't connect rivers to other types of routes. And at the end of the game, you choose one of your rivers. You gain 1 point for each space the river runs through. And if both ends of the river are connected to the outer edge of the board, it's worth 3 additional points. So I was close. All right. So, without further ado, that's the basic rules, and the rules will become more apparent as we roll. The most important thing to remember is you always must put all 4 of the white dice on your board. You only you're optionally allowed to put the blue dice on. But the white dice, all 4 of them have to go on your board every turn. And we're going to do 6 rolls of these 6 dice. So what will happen is naturally you're going to make plans and draw routes and think to yourself, wow, if only I can get this connection, I can do it. And then you're not going to roll things that are exactly what you need, and you're going to have to puzzle out the best way to place them at the time and try to still build a successful route. And that's why I can show you my board while we're playing, because there's no hidden information in this game or anything that would keep you from being able to play. All right. So, without further ado, let's begin. So, I'm going to do the very first roll of the game here. And let's arrange them all nice and pretty-like for everybody to see. Now, all 4 of the white dice must be placed, and optionally, the blue dice must be placed. And before I start solving my own puzzle, I'm going to give all of you at home the ability to think about it while I notate what results we got on the board. So we got a 6. Actually, it's probably going to be easiest if I just do it like this. We're going to do it a 6. We got a 4. We got a 2. We got a 8. And our blue dice were a 10 and a 13. So in this way, when people join later, they're going to be able to see what was previously rolled, and if that ever is unclear to anybody, feel free to ask me, and I'll do my best to catch you up and read it out. I have the chat up. So now I'm going to try to put what we have into the board. So I definitely want to start. I like these rivers as a start. So I think probably our best bet here would be to start with a river from the top here. And also, one of the things to keep track of how many rolls you do when you're playing, you put down a 1, or a 2, or a 3, or a 4, or a 5, or a 6 to note what roll of the game it is, so you don't lose track of what dice you've already placed. Because as the game progresses and things get more hairy and more complicated, and you maybe you're not going to erase after a turn ends, obviously, but you might, in a turn erase something, and then you forget what things you've already placed and which ones you haven't, and you just don't want to be about that life. Okay, so based on what we have here, I think probably a really good starter for us is going to be to take this piece that's the connection piece, and we're going to put that here from my board. Don't do exactly what I'm doing. Try to solve the puzzle your own way. I'm trying a different start than what I usually do. Usually I like to start from multiple different exits all over the board to create like a little twisting map. I'm trying something a little different here. You can do it your own way. I'm going to put this other railway piece here. I'm also not a terribly good artist, so I apologize that that's basically going to be the least well-produced part of this. Are you for real, Balder? Hey, down you go. You can sit on my lap all you want, but you can't get on the play mat. All right, let me move move that completely back into the frame. All right. So next, I've done this one and this one. I still need to do these two. So I think a good one here would be, since we're already kind of getting into this connection here, let's put the straight road up here. And let's do a little of my normal strategy. And let's put one of the turn here. Now, additionally, you'll see on the overlay, there are 6 pieces that don't appear on the dice key next to the self-modifying code label. These are the special junctions. Over the course of a game, that's 6 turns, you have the opportunity to place one of these per turn up till 3 of them are used. And they count as basically a 5th white die. You'll notice they're really interesting because none of the base dice cover 4 directions, whereas all of these do. I like to save them for like the middle and late game to see where my route has some gaps and try to patch it that way. But you can use them whenever you want, only 1 per turn, and only 3 over the course of the whole game. All right? All right. So I'm going to give everybody a few more minutes to get set up. And then once everybody is good, we'll move on to the next roll. All right. Are the dice and everything clear? Everything's nice and visible. How does the key and the backlog look? Is that coming out all right? This is something I put together. I have 3 tripods leaning over me right now. All right. Balder's snuggled. So let's do the next roll. We're going to get that nice, satisfying dice sound on the camera. We're going to do... Oh, I don't like this piece that has the railway going underneath the road because it doesn't actually make a true connection. Those are still 2 different routes because it lacks that black filled in square that denotes a station. So sometimes, you know, your brain will get a wire crossed and think that the routes have become connected when they're still considered 2 separate routes. All right, so let's take a look at what we have here. And I'm going to give all of you some time to think while I update the board. So in this one, we had a 7, the one I do not like. We have a 6 again. We have a 5. We have a 3. And then for our special dice, we have the 11, and we have the 13 again. Now remember, as always, with the blue dice, you never have to use all of them. They're always optional. All right, Balder, you gotta chill. All right, so let's think about... Let's think about where we want to put this stuff in on my board. I don't think I want to use both rivers this time, but I think I do want to use this turn. Now, here's the thing that I have to think about, right? Whatever direction I turn this river in, I've permanently cut off certain segments of the board from being connected. So that's something to be wary of. Now, I can always place the river somewhere in anticipation that I'll get other pieces later, but that can be a risk. But we only have 6 rolls, so if we don't use the rivers, we might not get enough to completely cross the board. So these are all things you have to kind of think about, right? So I think maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the turn river, and I apologize for my terrible bank drawing, and we're going to put the other railroad cross river here. That way we're not blocking off our highway or our railway super early in the game. Now again, try to solve things your own way. See what you come up with. Now I have to place this white die, even though I really do not like it. So let's think about what we're gonna do. Oh my god, Boulder, off the keyboard. Yeah, I know. But luckily, you're all not following me. I know what I've drawn. You got to look at your board because we're not all doing the same thing. So as long as my notations are clear, we're going to be just fine. I think I'm going to utilize my first special junction. Or no, do I even want to do that? Maybe I do. Yeah, I think I do. So I'm going to utilize the one that has 1 railway and 3 road connection. No, I think I'll use the 2 and 2. So I'm going to mark off one of my 3 on my board up here. And then I'm going to put that right here. So I'll have the road going south and north to connect here. And I'll have the railway to connect here and continue on to hopefully link up with this piece over here. Which means that I'm going to take this straight road put that there, or that straight railway route, and put that there. So I still have to use this guy, and I still have to use this guy. What do I want to do? Well, the obvious choice for that is to put it here for now. Putting it off in space somewhere doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So what we're going to do is we'll put the highway junction going in this direction. And obviously we're going to connect up the railway here. So 2, 2. What haven't I used yet? Oh, I haven't used my straightaway yet. So we'll use the straightaway here. So 2, 2, 2. And the last one that I'm missing is the T junction. We could use it here to try to create a loop around. If we use it here, we can almost guarantee... Well, actually, you know what? We'll put it here. So we'll put it like this. Now, again, my choices are not necessarily your choices. I feel a little bit like Bob Ross here, where you just got to kind of, you got to make it your own, make your own mistakes, and be your own city planner, Yes, a fun shade. It's 6 rolls for the game as we're going to be playing it. Here, and also, give me 1 second. I'm going to give you all a moment to think about where you're going to place the dice. And I'm going to increase the brightness on my camcorder. There we go. Yeah, play some happy little rivers, All right. So let's go ahead and if everybody's ready, let's do the next roll. We got some ones that we haven't gotten previously here. So let's think about what we're going to do while I update the turn board. So we have a 4, another 8, we have another 3, we have another 2, and for rivers we have the ubiquitous 11, and we have a newcomer, we have the 12, the road river cross as opposed to the railway river cross. All right. So this is very exciting for me. So let's think about what we're going to do. We're now on turn 3. So we're halfway through the game after these dice are placed. So we need to think about what we're going to do as far as placement is concerned. All right. So let's think here. So I think there's a shoe-in for this turn to go right here, because we can't guarantee that we'll ever get it again. So to get a faultless connection here seems pretty good. All right. And then we have another straight railway piece, which I think will probably be best used here. We can take a little risk and try to get an additional connection into the mix. One concern that I do have is we're not putting a lot into the middle this game, which is somewhat worrisome. Hopefully we'll be able to fix that problem a little bit over time. We're going to use the T-junction here to connect like so. All right, so, and then now I want to try to get, see if we put this here, we block off there ever being a connection downwards there. So I think here we may have an opportunity for another of our special junctions. I think I'm going to mark off another special junction, and I'm going to put the one that has 1 road piece and 3 railway pieces right here. So we have a railway going north, we have a railway going east, south, and a road going to the west. So we've got another special connection in the mix that'll hopefully help us close out this area. So additionally, that makes playing this other junction that we have that turns a road into a railway a better play down here, since we've already kind of committed to having this be predominantly a railway area. So I think we've used everything, because we have 1, 3, 3, 3, 3. Yep, so we're good on this one, I'm pretty sure. Oh, we didn't use any rivers, but we don't ever have to use any rivers. I don't know. If you're just tuning in, I see that a number of people say hi in chat, so I know that you're here. If you need to catch up, I've kept a log of all of the dice that we've previously rolled in the game here, so you can catch up. Just make sure you use the key to correspond to the various dice types. Whatever board you have will have a reference for the dice symbols up at the top. and then you can just go one line at a time to catch back up. It is important that you do all of the one line before the two, before the three, etc., etc. But yeah, so I personally have used 2 out of my 3 special junctions, so I only have 1 left across 3 rolls. Yeah, 3, 3, and then what was the other 3? 3, yeah. Yep. So we're all good on that roll. I just need to decide if I want to use a river. And it's funny because I put this down last turn, this straight road, and now we got a piece that would fit perfectly here and connect with this piece to continue our river down the side of the board. But now that line is gone to us. And that's the nature of this game, is that you have to make choices. And like I could have potentially avoided that by starting to build out elsewhere. But those are the risks that you take. So I'm going to take the turn. And continue on with just one of the river dice. I don't think we're going to have a super long river this game. But we're doing our best. All right. So now let's move on to the next roll. And why don't all of you have a little think while I update the board. So we have a 6. We have a newcomer. We have the 9, which is the turned junction. We have the railway turn, which I think that's the first time that that's been rolled. We have the 4 again. And then for our river dice, we have an 11. And we have a 12 again. All right. So let's think about what we want to do. Now this is roll 4 out of 6. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's boards looking and feeling? We're at the halfway point here. How's everybody feeling about their plans that they made? Pretty good, I hope. Now, it's important to note, if I can get this connected up here and this connected here, then all of this will be one route, even regardless of that junction that I don't like, that I have. But I need very specific pieces in order to make that happen. So I'm going to try to save my last big junction until the end of the game so that I have more options to try to fill a gap where it's most needed. Now, notably, if I'm willing to take 2 faults, I could use this road river crossway here and then use the turn here to make a 2-side of the board connected river at the cost of 2. Oh, actually, I can't, because since that's a junction, it wouldn't work. Well, regardless, the only real solid play I have is to put the curved river here and then hope to close with it with another piece in the next 2 rolls. We're trying our best here. All right, as far as these other pieces, let's talk about what we're going to do. I definitely want to try to get more exposure on the central parts of the board. So I think we're definitely going to use this here as a curved railway to cover another central piece. We don't have any other railway pieces at the moment, which is kind of disappointing considering how much we're sort of all in on the railways at the current juncture. I think we have the best chance of doing more link-ups down here. So I think the straightaway for the road we're going to put there. We already used the curve. We have the curve connection junction and a turn. This is tough. All right. Well, we can try, I think probably our best bet is to try to go for the gusto and try to get another connection made. Maybe by doing one of these with our junction. It's a very short railway that leads right into a change into a super highway. And then we'll go right into the turn that we have to try to get that all linked up. How's everybody feeling as far as your boards? How are they looking? How are you feeling? I don't believe you get faults for rivers that aren't connected at the end. Oh, you do? Oh, I was wrong. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. So, if everybody's ready, let's move on to roll number 5. Oh, I bumped that one. Oh, we got more of this thing that I don't like. Thankfully, we fished what we wished. And we got the straightaway river, which we're going to slot in to make our completed 2 sides of the board river. And think about the rest while I update our board. So we got another 7. We got a 5. We got a 6. And we got a 3 as our normal dice. And then again, we got an 11. And we got the 10. So we're closing in. This is one of 2 turns that you have left to use one of your 3 special junctions that are on the overlay there that you can use before the end of the game. It's definitely a use it or lose it type of situation. So make sure you're staying on top of that. You choose a river to score at the end. Okay, again, we're not really getting the railway pieces that we need. So I might be tempted to use one of our big railway junctions to close, but then I'm really taking a risk that we might not connect all of this. So there's definitely some quandaries happening. I gotta have a think. All right. What do I want to do? Where's the best places for these dice? And this is what always happens, right? You think you've got a pretty good plan for closing out the board, and then the board just kind of throws you not what you need to make any of that happen. It's more or less par for the course. We only have 1 rule left after this, so we may have to give up on potential connections that we've attempted, because they may not materialize, right? I think probably our best bet. Oof, gosh, very tough. I think probably our best bet is to put the T intersection for the highway here. That way, we have a chance to potentially throw in an extra connection here and here to close that. As far as the straightaway is concerned, the straightaway is probably going to be best suited here. And then, gosh, I hate this piece so much. I'm going to try to do this without erasing with my hand. The camera has me sitting at a slightly weird angle, so I apologize that I keep pulling this away to draw on it. But the way it normally sits under the camera, I'd have to erase it with the edge of my hand in order to reach some of the places. We're going to do that. We're definitely going to be left with faults because of that, but such is life. And then we have this straightaway railway, which I guess fits best here, preventing some faults and covering another central square. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4 dice, the white dice, and then we already placed the river. We got very lucky with our river poles, but we've definitely got a lot of connections in the balance, but we want to try to minimize faults as much as possible. How's everybody else feeling about their routes thus far? Pretty good? Pretty bad? Talk to me. Are people doing a lot along the outside? Did people get into the move? Is anybody looking like they're going to complete a river that's going to go from one side of the board to the opposite side of the board as opposed to a adjacent edge? Because that's always exciting when people get a full cross the board. Falling. Come on. That's 100% not your cat bed. Will you just come hang out with me, man? I'm here for you. I'll give you whatever you want. We're losing a lot of bandwidth, and I don't know why. Hopefully things are still coming through clear. But I guess there isn't a ton of movement on this stream, so it doesn't matter a ton as long as my voice isn't warbly. All right. Let's do the very last roll of the first game. All right. Good luck to all of you on your river poles. This is not what we wanted, I don't think. So we're definitely going to be leveraging some big junctions here to make some big connections. Now, think about what you're going to be doing while I update the board. All right. So for this, the final round of the game, we got a 1. We got a 6. We got another 6. I think that's our first duplicate. We got a 9. And then for our rivers, we got the hard to place 12 and the hard to place 13. So good luck, everybody, with your final round. Take some time, think about what you've done to yourself, and then we're going to close out the game here. All right. So let's think about what we're going to do here. Well, I think definitely the turn railroad is a shoe-in right here for guaranteeing the connection between our two large routes. Now this, notably, is not connected to anything. This route right here is not connected to anything. Now that could change if we use these two straightaway routes that we got and then one of our multi-junctions here. So that's a possibility, but then we would be committing to 3 faults up here. But I think the 3 faults might be worth it for the extra 2 junctions included in our final score. So I think that's the plan, and that's the tact that we're going to take. So we're going to take a straightaway, and we're going to put it right here. So that was a 6. We're going to put a straightaway road here. That's a 6. We're going to put another straightaway road right next to it, which is also on this, the 6th and final round. And then we're going to use our last multi-junction to finish this off. We'll utilize the... It doesn't really matter which one specifically we use in this juncture since we're not making a perfect 4-way connection. But sacrifices must be made for city planning. So then the only die we have left to place is this connection, which is more or less guaranteed to give us a fault. So we can really put that anywhere we like. So we'll put it right here. All right, so here we are. This is my finished board. I'm going to give everybody a minute or two to wrap up. The station does not stop it. So like as an example, this road continues through this station on. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it continues on. So that's likely to be my longest road right there because of that station junction that we put in. All right. So in a minute here, we're going to go into scoring, and you can kind of follow along with what I'm doing on my board, and it'll give you a good sense for what you've got likely going on with your board. All right. All right. So what we're going to do now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to mark our faults. So there's one there. 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 Are there any that I'm missing? I think that's it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, you know, that's not terrible. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to count the total number of stations we've connected in a single route. And we're very fortunate in this playthrough because I've connected my entire system into one continuous route. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, let me just start from this edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've completed 8. So that gives us 28 points in routes. Our longest road is 1. Our longest road is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares. So that's 9 points there. Our longest railway is... we don't have a super long railway this time. Longest railway is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We covered all 9 squares of the middle. And then these two will basically become 3. So then 3 plus 5 is 8. Plus 9 is 17. And 17 plus 28 is 45. So that's what we have before our specials. Now, as far as rivers are concerned, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 3 points since they touch 2 different edges of the board. So that's a total of 10 points, which makes our final score 55 points. So that's where I ended up in our first game. How's everybody else doing? If you're comfortable, please feel free to share your score and your longest river, road, and railway. Oh no, you're right. Oh no. I have underpasses here and here, but this underpass route... Oh no, you're right. It doesn't connect. Oh no, but doesn't it connect there? Oh. Ho, 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 ho. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I messed up my my score. So we don't have one unified route. It's because I didn't connect up here. That was the mistake. I didn't connect up here because that's what would have created the unified route. I think. Maybe not. Regardless, we didn't quite get there. So I need to do this again. So we still are going to have 10. We're still going to have 6 faults. We're still going to have 9 there. None of this stuff changes. My longest road was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what changes is going to be... Ooh, Fun Shade. That's a great score. All right, so this route is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 12. And that's this one, and that's this one, and this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's another 4 for another 12. So instead of 28, it's 24. So instead of being at 55, I'm at 53 as my final score. So 53 ended up being my final score. Not terrible. The river is scored 1 point per square that it occupies, and it gets 3 points if it touches, if the end points are on 2 different sides of the board. So in this case, this exit touches here, and this exit of the river touches here, so it makes it worth 3 more points. So I got 53, which isn't terrible. Not my best, but pretty good. But yeah, so Cat, you have the roots are a multiplier based on how many exits are connected by a single route. And then everything else is worth 1 point. So your longest road is worth 1 for each square that it occupies. Same with longest railway. If for each square of the center that you cover with anything, you get 1 point, and then faults are -1 points. And then the river is 1 point per square plus 3 additional if the exits are on 2 different sides of the board. Does that explain it, Kat? So pretty good, I'd say. So the rivers are 1 point for each square that the river occupies. If it ends in nothing, meaning it doesn't touch the edge of the board, that still counts as a fault, so that would be a -1 point. And then if you manage to make it so that the exits are on 2 different edges, so like here and here, here and here, here and here, etc., or what I've done here and here, then you get, for the whole river, 3 more points. All right. And then after this, we're going to erase, and then we're going to do one with the lava dice, which change up the rules a little bit. Yeah, YouTube likes to strangle my bandwidth. Because, yeah, because they like to do that. What are special squares? Well, yeah, they contribute to the routes, same as the special junctions are like 3 times per game bonus white die that you can use. But they just count per normal. They just count as normal. Mine, it's for my river, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares, and then it connects to this edge and this edge, which makes it worth 3 additional, up to a total of 10, up to that total of 10. Also, since everybody's home and it's a Friday night, my bandwidth is getting absolutely crushed by Comcast. So I'm definitely glad I didn't put on a face cam, because I'd be like in a Parliament Funkadelic video, like blurring around. Hey, that's a great score, especially for your first time using the special dice, because I think the time we played at the house, we weren't using any of the special dice. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap in our new special dice, which are the lava dice, okay? And then I'm going to erase this board. All gone in an instant. But that's the nature of these types of games. It's a puzzle that you can solve again and again and again. All right. I'll give that a wipe down with a paper towel later. Let me go and reset our turn board. Oh, that's not good. Why you gotta do me like that, board? There was still a little glue left. I don't know why, like CVS and places will put the labels for stuff on the surface that you're going to draw on later doesn't make a lot of sense to me. All right, bear with me one moment. Well, we're just gonna have to do our best because the leftover glue on here got us. People will likely still be able to see. All right, so some rules that change with the lava dice. So this time, to keep myself on the straight and narrow, I'm just going to read from the book. Let's talk about the lava lakes, which is what we're going to be utilizing this time. And I even have a brand spanking new orange board for us to use. Yeah. So, the volcanoes start erupting. One of the biggest and most notable things about this is, unlike the other one where you got to choose, you will always score the largest lava lake. Okay? At the beginning of the game, draw a volcano on the central space of your board. So I'm going to... No, that's a bad, dumb volcano. Okay, so we're going to go... And I'm going to draw a volcano that's erupting, okay? So that's my volcano. It looks like a guy waving, but whatever. So it has to be in that central square. When you draw roots, you must draw one of these two dice. So you always must draw. So at the end of the game, you will have a minimum of 6 lava dice on the board. All right? Lava dice you draw must be connected to pre-existing lava. But at any point during the round, if you want, you can draw a new volcano as long as it's not adjacent to pre-existing lava. If there are no free spaces adjacent to an open lava lake, then you must create a new volcano or erase an existing route that you've drawn, the actual railways and roads, to make space for it. Open lava lake edges do count as errors, so you're going to want to close off these lakes. At the end of the game, you get 5 points for each lava lake without open sides. You also get 1 point for each space occupied by your largest lava lake. So that's a lot. So I'm going to put this down. I don't know how clear that's going to be. But let me also find the lava rules and link them. I think the lava rules are the ones that I put into the YouTube. So let me... Yep, I put them both in the YouTube, but let me link the Blazing Red edition rules in the Twitch chat. And do yourself a favor, and if you forget how the lava works while we're playing, you can always ask a question, and it's also on the very last page of this PDF that I just put in the chat, okay? All right. I wish YouTube would stop, like, throttling my bandwidth. That'd be pretty rad. Yeah, shout outs to YouTube who severely curtailed the resources that they allocate for anybody who averages less than 5,000 views per video. All right. So we've got our volcano ready to go. And from here on out, we're going to be having to place one of these orange dice, these lava dice, every single turn that we play. All right? So let's get to it and let's play our second game. Are we getting some stuttering? Here, give me a second. Let me see if I can get it to write itself. Because I'm getting tons of drop frames here. So I want to make sure that y'all can hear me before I continue. Why you gotta do me like that? How are we doing? How's my voice sounding? Or are we reaching the end of the line? And I gotta go yell at Comcast for not giving me the bit rate that I pay for. Tom? Thanks, Lori. Alright. Let's soldier on and see what we can make happen. Alright. So remember, the white dice always got to go on. If you're joining us, this is game 2. Feel free to jump in. If you come in later, you can always join. If you don't have a board, there's a board that can be used. All right. So as far as our numbers for this first one, we have a 9. We have a 3. We have a 6. And we have a T intersection, the 5. And then for our lava dice, we have the 14. And we have the 17. So an exciting start to our second game. Remember, the white dice must be placed, all 4 of them, and at least one lava die must be placed connected to this volcano or a pre-existing lava lake. A good way to think about this is this central square is like a 4-direction junction for lava. All right. So let's go ahead And let's think about where I'm going to put all this crap. So we'll put the lava hourglass figure here, because this is all lava in here. This central square is one big lava piece. And then I think we're going to err on the side of closing this off and putting that railway piece into play right here, because we can do that. Now remember, you don't have to use two, you only have to use one. I'm choosing to use two to start building something because it gives me the ability to do this. Now, I can put this straightaway piece connected to it. I'm going to put the junction piece. Let's think. So if we put the straight... No, that's not going to work. We can put the junction piece here, and then the straightaway, and then we can try to build for a connection there. But that seems like a lot of work for a connection. Or do I want to go back to the older strategy where I spread out and try to meet in the middle a little bit more? Let's try that. So let's put the straightaway here. Let's put the T intersection here. No, that's dumb. What am I doing with my life? You know what? We're going to erase that. The T intersection is probably best here. My handwriting and artistic ability with regards to this game is rapidly decaying as we're playing. Let's take a risk and start building out from this direction. We're going to do kind of the opposite strategy we did last time. And we're going to start building out from the edges, which is what I more frequently do. And then we're going to do the connection piece here. And that's our starting board. No, I mean this is the lava. That's how it's shaped. All right. So let's move on to the next roll. Let's give it a good jostling. All right, remember, you always must be using the lava dice and all 4 white dice. So you're going to have a minimum of 6 of the orange dice placed on your board over the course of the game. So have a think about what you're going to do with your board while I mark down what we have. We have a 1. We have my hated 7 piece. We have a 5. We have a 3. And we have the 16 lava piece, and we have the 15 lava piece. All right. Where do I want to? Well, I think the straightaway is probably going to go right here. Let's think. Actually, we should probably think with the lava pieces, right? Because the lava pieces are what's going to screw us. So I think the one we're going to use this time is going to be the diagonal, so we can make sure that we can kind of connect this down in here. So that's our lava piece for this turn, is going to be the diagonal. Do I want to use a junction already? I don't think that I do. We also have a turn, which could be handy. We also have another T intersection. So I think I'm going to go against what I would normally do in this situation. And I'm going to use one of my junctions now. I'm going to use the 2 road, 2 railway one. So we're going to put one of my specialty junctions into play. So we're going to have a roadway that goes this way, a roadway that goes this way, a railway, and a railway connection here. Okay. Now, we still have a lot of other stuff that we need to use. So, if we want, we can try to... Gosh, I hate using this piece so much. We're going to put it here. I hate it so bad. I hate it so much. The number 7 piece is like my least favorite piece in this whole game. It is a destroyer of well-designed routes. I want to try to bring in as much as we can. So let's get the turn up here, so we can try to get more connections. And then we still need to use our T road intersection. No, you know, I think this has got to be down here, and we'll just take the fault on the edge of the board. No, that's ugh. We'll put the T intersection here. We'll put that thing I hate. You know, I'll just take the 2 faults, and it'll give us a chance to build more connections. I hate the piece so much, and it always makes me screw up my final scoring. All right. So this one doesn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got our 4 basic pieces. We got our lava piece, and we used one of our 3 special junctions, which are on the overlay near the self-modifying code logo. You can use 3 of them per game, only 1 per game. All right, so let's go ahead and do the next roll. All right, so which one of the lava dice are you going to pick this time? All right. Now, I think we're going to use the diagonal again. on roll 3 here for our lava die. And think about the rest of your dice while I'm notating. We got an 8. We got another 3. We got another T road junction. We got another 1. And we got the 15 on the lava. And the 17 on the lava. All right, so we fished what we wished here because we have a straightaway, which will enable us to link what we're doing, hoping to do up top with what we've already done down below. Furthermore, we're kind of setting up a high railway situation here. So let's think about the best way to get all of this connected in together. We got another T intersection, which is kind of weird, to be honest. We could do the T intersection and then connect here and go upwards. And then that gives us the opportunity to do another connection there. We're kind of completely skipping this open junction, though, which I don't feel great about. But I don't know that we have a ton of choice. Another option could be to put the T intersection here or here to start trying to build this into one continuous piece. We got to have a think. Hey, welcome Indecision. There's a board that you can use if you don't have your own copy of the game. And we're just playing along. We've got the backlog up, so you can catch up if you're a latecomer. We're on game 2. We played the first one with the rivers. All right. So we've done enough planning. We've already done our lava piece. We already used one of our straightaways. So let's commit to some choices. Okay. Do we want... I really hesitate to use another specialty this early in the game. But there isn't necessarily a good reason to just hold on to them for the sake of holding on to them either, right? So let's... Okay, I think I have a plan. We're going to put the T intersection that we just pulled right here. We're going to put this junction piece right here. Then we're going to put the turn piece right here. So then we can use a 4-way connection here to try to link up this and also this little forgotten connection here. Do I want to use the other lava piece? I don't think that I do. Okay. How's everybody feeling? We're at the 50% mark here. How are the boards shaping up? Pretty good? All right, well. Oh, what a weird pull. All right, remember, 1 orange die minimum per round. Think about what you're going to be doing while I notate what we pulled. So we have a 1 die. We have 2 3s. And we have the hated 7. And we have the 15. And we have the 17 again. All right. Did we fish what we wished in this corner? I don't think that we did as of yet, which is disappointing. But we still have a couple of turns yet to rectify that. All right, so as far as lava is concerned, we can try to utilize some of this lava we still have 2 rolls left, so we're going to have to place more than we probably want to. So let's go ahead and put some diagonal lava down here. Or do we close it off and just make another one? I think we close off this lava lake entirely. And then we could do another one over somewhere else. Or no, we'll just wait and see what we roll next time, maybe. Yeah, this roll's bad. Bad news bears for our plans. It's not ideal. Might be special junction time up here. We don't have the turn though, which we need. Man, I hate the 7 pull so much. We don't really have good places for like any of this. It feels real bad. All right. I guess what we're going to do is we're going to put the straightaway here. This is roll 4, I believe. Yeah, this is roll 4. We're going to have to put the hated 7 down here on our happy little nightmare highway that we're building down in this forgotten corner. Can I put a volcano here? This doesn't count as adjacent because this diagonal doesn't touch this edge, right? I believe that's how that works, right? Because it's not a leading edge. We still have this turn we need to use. I guess we can use that turn to try to tighten up in here. But that doesn't really do anything for us except for minimize faults, right? Like minimizing faults is not like a winning strategy. We can put another volcano up here and put that other volcano piece right here and try to make something happen with that turn up here and just go like buck wild weird with it. I think we have to take the risk here and make a bet that we're going to get what we need, which is almost never a good call. And we're going to take the straight across junction piece with the two railways, betting that you're going to get specific dice in the last two rolls is super duper dangerous. But here we are. All right. Let's do roll number 5. All right. Oh my gosh, but I did fish what I wish. I got lucky as shit and I do not deserve it. All right. So as far as our normal dice, we got a 4. We got a 3. We got a 9. And we got a 2, which I think that might be the first time we've rolled a 2 this whole game. And then for our lava dice, we got a 15, which is pretty good for us. And we got a 18, which hasn't been rolled yet this game. So we have to put the lava somewhere. So we'll put the lava Does that make it better or worse? Well, regardless, we'll put one diagonal lava this way. Or actually, no. We can minimize faults by putting the diagonal lava up here. We keep pulling what we need, like the turn after we need it, and it's infuriating, if I'm being honest, as a city planner. You know, I work very hard to try to build up a city that makes sense, and you know they're just not really working with me, and you know I don't really care for it. We have another straightaway. I think our best bet is to try to link up for the extra 3 connections up here with that little centipede I just made. This is tough. Yeah, I know. I know it hasn't been closed yet. I could put the highway down, but then I'd be concerned that I'm not going to actually connect that, and that'll just be 2 faults. So I'll be trading 1 fault for 2. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the concern that I have there. Oh, man. I put us in a weird position because we need 2 very specific pieces to close that. Okay. Let's Galaxy Brain. We're going to put the diagonal here. We're going to put the highway here. This is roll 5. We're going to put my last special junction here. We're going big brain. Did I already use the straightaway? I did. We'll use the T intersection because it gives us a good place to use a turn if we get one next round. All 3 of our specialty junctions have been used. Man. At least this gets us somewhat closer to closing this off. It was I've made a lot of calculated risks this game, and I'm gonna have to get exceptionally lucky to not get burned. Literally, no pun intended. So let's see what we can make happen. All right. All right. One last roll. We didn't get what we needed for that little section. That's for damn sure. All right. Well, we got a 1. We got a 2. We got a 6. We got a 9 on our basic dice, and then we got a 15, and we got another 17 on this, the last round of our games together tonight. All right. So regardless, we're going to use one lava die to close off this lava lake up here. So we don't end up with any lava faults, which is like a miracle in and of itself. Now, as far as closing all of this off, do we have a chance? We don't have a great chance. We can do it if we guarantee, well, we can't do it, but we can get closer by guaranteeing some more faults some places. Like the champions that we are. I mean, I think a snap placement is this junction just to turn this little experiment that we had up here into an actual route. We can reduce fault count by putting the turn here. And then we can put the other T intersection here to connect this. Generating one fault but 2 points from the joined connections. And then we have this straightaway, which the only place it legally fits is here. How's everybody feeling? How did this game go? The lava dice are significantly more difficult, so I'm curious to see how everybody feels about how their board shaped up. All right, so this is 2 connections, so that's 4 points. This is no connections. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 connections there.